You know that dream of stepping into your own backyard to grab some fresh ingredients for dinner? Well, in the next 5 minutes, we're going to make that happen. This is your simple, step-by-step plan to go from zero to your very first harvest. So let's get started. And this, right here, is where we begin. Before you even think about buying seeds or tools, the most important work happens right in your own yard. It's a huge mindset shift, but trust me, it's what sets you up for success from the get-go. All right, so your first mission is to become a sunlight detective. Seriously, this is the biggest deal for most vegetable gardens. Getting the sun part right, well, that's pretty much the difference between a garden that thrives and one that's, a total struggle. And here's the magic number you're looking for: 6 to 8 hours. Most of the veggies we love, we're talking tomatoes, peppers, squash, they absolutely soak up the sun. They need at least 6 and preferably 8 hours of direct sun every single day to really do their thing. So how do you find that perfect sunny spot? It's actually way easier than you think. Just follow these 3 steps. Pop outside in the morning, again around lunchtime, and then in the late afternoon. Pay attention to where the shadows are falling from your house or any big trees. Then just sketch it out. It's that simple. And that little sketch becomes a treasure map for your garden. And this is basically what you're making. It doesn't have to be pretty, but this little map will be one of the most important tools you have. It stops you from making that classic beginner mistake of planting something that loves sun in a spot that's in total shade by 2 o'clock. Okay, so you found your sunniest piece of real estate. Now the big question is how much to take on. This part is all about being realistic and choosing your allies. That means picking the right size garden and the right plants. You have got to keep this in mind. It is so tempting to go huge your first year. I get it. But a small, manageable garden that actually gives you food is so much more rewarding than a giant, weedy mess that just makes you feel overwhelmed. We're here to build confidence, one small win at a time. So, the question on every beginner's mind. You've got the spot, you've got the ambition, but what size is actually doable for your life right now? This guide is amazing because it makes it so clear. Just look at that top row. For only 1 to 2 hours a week, which is totally manageable, a little 25 to 50 square foot garden can feed 1 or 2 people. That's basically a single raised bed. It's the perfect way to learn without accidentally giving yourself a part-time job. Okay, you've got your sunny spot, you picked a realistic size. Now for the really fun part. What are we gonna grow? For year 1, my advice is to stick with the superstars. These are the plants that are basically cheering you on. They want to succeed. They're forgiving, they're super productive, and they give you those quick wins that get you hooked. Think fast-growing salads, radishes that are ready in like a month, and so much zucchini you'll have to give it to your neighbors. And hey, this isn't just a guess. The data backs it up. This table shows you why they're superstars. Look at radishes, a 95% success rate, and you can be eating them in under 30 days. Come on! Leaf lettuce is right there with it. Using a chart like this helps you pick plants based on facts, which means you're going to get a reward for your effort, and fast. All right, your plant list is ready, so it's time to design their new home. And a smart layout isn't just about making it look nice. It's about making your life easier. It saves your back, it saves you time, and it makes the daily chores feel kind of fun instead of, a chore. Here it is, the golden rule of garden design. If you forget everything else, remember this. Keep your garden beds no wider than 4 feet. Why? Because that means you can easily reach the middle from either side without ever stepping in the bed. That keeps your soil nice and fluffy, which your plant roots will thank you for. Now, within that bed, how do you arrange the plants? Well, you've pretty much got 2 classic options. You can do the traditional, neat and tidy rows, or you can do a more packed-in block style. So which one's for you? Well, think of it this way. Row cropping is awesome for organization, especially if you're planting right in the ground. But if you're using a raised bed and you want to squeeze every last bit of goodness out of that space, block planting is definitely the way to go. It gives you a bigger harvest and even helps keep the weeds down. So we've covered the where, now let's talk about the when. A simple chart like this is basically your gardening calendar for the year. Everything is based around your local frost dates. You'll put in cool weather stuff like spinach in early spring. Your heat lovers like tomatoes go in after the last frost, and then you can even get another round of greens in the fall. Okay, let's be real for a second. Things are gonna go wrong. You'll find some weird bug, or a leaf will look funky. These are not failures. You gotta think of them as little puzzles to solve, or maybe dragons to face. This is where you really start to learn. And this is just so true. Every single gardener, even the experts, deals with problems. Learning to see something, figure out what it is, and then react calmly, that's a skill you'll use forever. It's not a bug in the system. It's just part of the game. And you know what? You'd be surprised how often the solutions are super simple. See a bunch of tiny green bugs? Don't panic. Just hit them with a strong spray from the hose. See some white powdery stuff on your squash leaves? Just snip off a few of the lower leaves to get more air moving through. Often the fix is easy and totally chemical-free. So, you've planned it, you've planted it, you've even fought a few tiny dragons. The last piece of the puzzle isn't just about that first amazing harvest. It's about building the habits that turn this from a one-time thing into something you love to do year after year. So what's the secret to keeping it going? It really just boils down to 2 simple habits. First, take a 5-minute walk through your garden every day. Just look around. You'll catch problems early and you'll really start to feel connected to it. And second, keep a simple journal. Even just a note in your phone of what you planted and what actually worked, that's gold for next year. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. A garden is not a test. You can't pass or fail. It's really just a conversation between you and the soil, the sun, and the plants. It's a place to learn and discover. So the only real question is, what's your garden going to teach you?